Hi. It's been a little while. And actually I have no idea what I'm gonna say. Yeah. A very different energy about me, I feel. I actually thought that I would have made a lot of videos during the last 1.5 weeks because I was at a friend's place and she's working every day. But no, I'm sorry guys. Her cat, she has a cat. I just spent the time petting the cat. So that's basically what I've been doing since you heard from me last time. No, but in all seriousness, quite a bit has happened. I am looking at an apartment on Tuesday and I'm applying for jobs in another town. I don't know if I am able to not do anything for longer periods of time because I was supposed to relax for half a year before I entered society. And that lasted a month. Before that, I was packing down my apartment. So I was doing something. It was the 14th and it's the 19th in the next month right now. It took me 1 month to decide that I can't do nothing. And I've applied for full-time jobs. What is happening? I don't know. But I really hope that this apartment is as good as it looks because it's quite cheap and I'm allowed to have a cat. I want to have a cat. Just that 1.5 week with my friend's cat. Oh my gosh. I've regulated so much. I love cats and dogs. But if I'm away most of the day, I think a cat and most of cats' temperaments are the best for me right now because if I have a dog, I want to assure that I have enough energy to walk it, or I have, well, you need to walk it anyway, but at least having like a little garden or something will help, which is not a part of that apartment. No. But it's a what is that called? That's not called 2-bedroom. There's 2 rooms in that apartment and I'm used to only having 1. I'm listening to myself right now. That sounds maddening. Such a little thing, but I've always dreamt of having my bedroom separate from like a living room. I think also I've just gotten so used to living on my own or having my own space that coming home to my parents. It's lovely. It's great food. I love my parents. But I miss the freedom. Yeah. I miss it. So right now I'm not in a worse place because I feel quite good, but I know even less about what I'm gonna do. So that's lovely. I have 2 possible educations that interest me. And then there's also the possibility of not doing an education yet if I can find a full-time job that I can survive doing, that can pay for that apartment. The reason I looked for that apartment was because I was like, if I can find something that's not dependent on me being a student, that would be awesome. Because then I can just stay there if I'm a student and I can stay there if I'm not. That's awesome. Now I do hope it's an alright environment around the apartment, because when it's that good, the price for that size, bestie, stop, that's not what I meant. I don't know how to finish that sentence without yeah, I don't even know, like, it's just the alarm bells are going off a little bit, because what if there's not a lot of good people around there or something? But who knows? I don't know literally anything right now, other than the fact that apparently I'm better. I feel better. And I don't know what that accent was. I feel better, and I don't know from what, other than that I have been in contact with a cat for more than 1.5 weeks. Yeah. There's also there's also something about being with friends for a period. I haven't seen her for a while now, and it was just great to see her again. So yeah, basically, I knew I was gonna be very inconsistent with this project and podcast across all media, because that's who I am. And even when I think that I will get a lot of episodes done or make a lot of them, things change. Even if I plan something, the plans change. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. And I still haven't made that big disclosure. Whoa. Big disclosure. The big D episode. I haven't made it yet. I don't know if I will, actually. The idea was that it was for me. But if I haven't made it yet, then I don't know if I need it. So, yeah. Yeah. Also, my room at home is messy. Like it doesn't feel like home. Feels like I'm on a vacation. And that's great, but it also just doesn't help my productivity. And I think most people are able to just decide to be productive. Maybe. I don't know. I have tried that many times. It's really hard. And I don't actually mind that I can come home to my parents and then relax. I don't mind that. I don't want to flip it and then come home and not be able to relax because it was my study or workspace. So I don't mind if I get an apartment now. Also, I haven't lived at home since I was 16. So, yeah. But my first real apartment I got in 2020. And I stayed there until February this year. That leaves some traces. You know what's weird? Right now, in this moment of time, I don't have a million thoughts at once. I have maybe 3. That's low, being me. I don't really know why, but it makes me not know what to say. And that's also new. But it's part of the process, I guess, because you have seen me in a lot of stages and heard me in a lot of stages already. And this is just one of them. A low output stage, I guess. I've been drawing a lot more, so maybe I'm going into creative era physically. Who knows? Also, I need to ask my friend if I can use all of the pictures and videos of her cat. I had a good time and I have a lot of them. So yeah, you might get a lot of cat visuals at some point. If nothing else, then when I get my own cat, because I really want a cat. And you can't decide exactly what cat you get or dog you get, but I really hope I get one that wouldn't mind cuddles a little bit. I don't mind a cat being a little more independent, and I also don't mind when they get overstimulated and kind of need to retreat, but cuddles from a cat, it just hits different. Yeah. If you have a cat, I think you know. I also hope that either if we put up my computer at home here or in a new apartment, I can start streaming on Twitch. I don't yet know exactly what I will be streaming. I'll have to look up rules if there's anything I'm not allowed to, but I like Minecraft, I like drawing, I like talking, I like Spore, Sims. I have a few other video games. Do people still call them that? I have a few other games I can play. I haven't actually looked into fixing the problem Mr. Diffluff told you about the copyrighted music and stuff I've apparently used. Like, it's odd. On Twitch, I've just seen a lot of people just stream live and have the original music and sounds on too. Nothing bad happened, but I just don't want issues. More of them, at least. So yeah, actually I feel pretty good. I don't know if I'm ready for a full-time job, but also kind of just want to get to do something. And money would be really great. You know? I've thought of volunteering at animal shelters, which I want to do, but that doesn't pay the apartment. So I'm gonna have to do something that pays the apartment, and then hopefully have energy and time sometimes to go help out, because, well, that's for free and I want to do it. Yeah, I've thought about it for a while. If I can just make a little bit of a difference in some animals' lives, it would be great. Yeah. I'm kind of blank about what to talk about right now. It's also a little late and I did not sleep great last night because I'm looking for a job. Kind of a whole new era of anxiety induced wakefulness, which is great. Exactly what I needed, right? Full-blown burnout a couple months ago, and now I'm going to do something that might give me a lot of stress again. Yeah, but the worst thing that can happen is that I lose the apartment, can't pay for it, but then I go home again. But like, if I don't thrive in full-time job right now, I can apply for one of the educations that I have found quite interesting, and then get an education. And yes, we are privileged in Denmark that we get paid to take educations. It's just not that, wow, not that much, but it doesn't matter. We're still privileged. But I will still go into debt because normal tax, what's it called? Normal amounts of money we get from studying doesn't cut it with that apartment that I hope that I will get. If I'm lucky, I might actually have an apartment from the 1st of April. And I was barely able to say that from the 1st of April. That's like 2 weeks. That's crazy. What is happening? And it's like every time I say, oh my gosh, this apartment is crazy and it's amazing and there's a big kitchen and there's 2 rooms and it's 58 cubic meters. That's not, oh no, I forgot the normal metric of rooms. Well, it's bigger than my last apartment, and well, my dad's like, it's not that big, and the kitchen is not that big. But considering the fact that I only had 2 plates, heating pads, I am struggling with words, can you tell? And I only had half a refrigerator, and I had maybe, I don't even know how to show you. I had less kitchen space than this desktop. That's not a desktop, that's a lap desk. That was less space to make food on. I'm not happy about making food, but it definitely helps having a bigger kitchen and more space. And I have that here. I have a normal oven. I have a normal fridge. Refrigerator. Does it matter which one I say? I feel like it's refrigerator. And there's a freezer there, and it sounds like I've lived somewhere horrible. It's not that horrible, it just does not invite making any sort of food. Yeah. No, I'm excited, and there's a lot of new things going on. I have a lot of, apparently I can't stop making appointments either. It's like I have an issue just not doing anything. Yeah. And maybe that's just human, who knows, but I like having something to work towards, you know? It's just nice. And yes, I'm speaking in a low register because it is late, and I don't know if my dad has gone to bed, but well, either way, that's just what I feel like right now. So I hope you can hear me. I don't know actually. Also, yes, I am filming this on my phone. Sorry, a little bit shaky. No. Yeah. So basically, a little update. If I disappear again, well, I don't know either. I don't know when or why either. So we'll figure it out, and just know that I haven't stopped. Like, I still want to make this podcast, and I still want to do my creative stuff, and I want to hone, is that the word I'm looking for? I want to get better at drawing, and I want to share my art, and I want to make stories, and I want to share my stories. I have a lot of things I want to do, and only one life to do it, and limited mental space and capacity to do everything like everyone else. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm still here. I haven't gone on off the face of the earth. I've just been weirdly busy and also not at all busy. It's been an odd couple of weeks. But I feel like I'm in a better spot mentally and physically. That might be another reason why I'm not pacing as much, because I walk a little bit more, and within the last 2 weeks with my friend, I was 3 times in fitness with her. So maybe I just need to do a little bit more fitness, even though that takes money. Another reason to move into a apartment that gets me closer to somewhere I can work so I can have money. Like, I don't know what the perfect situation would look like. Obviously, a job full time, maybe sometimes a little bit more, maybe sometimes a little bit less. But a job I can survive doing and not immediately burn out. That would be great. A good community at work also definitely helps, that it isn't a toxic environment. And also, really don't want to work in a grocery store. And if I do have to, because sometimes it's difficult to get a job anywhere else, I don't want to be behind the desk all the time. That was the mistake I did last time. I did a grocery store job. I had 8 hours every day behind the desk, greeting people, beeping things in, having to I was not allowed to leave. And if I had to I had to ring someone and stop their work, and I just want to be on the floor. That's what we call it. I don't mind being behind the desk at all. But if it's the only thing I do, it gets hard to do for me. I like to walk around. I like to put things on shelves. I like to trim it. Is that also what it's called in English? Like to making sure everything is out for the customers. And I don't mind at all smiling to customers. I just find that sometimes people go to grocery stores in a different mindset than a lot of other stores. So my first priority is to apply for stores that are a little bit different. We have normal in many countries actually, but in Denmark, and it's very different vibe. It's like a cozy, ooh, let's see what they have mindset. A lot of people go in that with, and it's gonna be busy. Obviously, it's gonna be busy anywhere I work, but it's a little more. I still want to say cozy, like it's more adventurous for a lot of people. Obviously, some people have specific things they just need in and out and get from normal. That is on a cheaper end than any grocery store. Obviously, people can walk in with bad mood like anywhere else, but I think there's a lot more stocking stocking up, and perhaps cleaning, because you need cleaning anywhere. um, I've actually already applied for a grocery store. I know, I just said I didn't want to, but it's in the green. And there might still be a lot of customers, obviously, but I just feel like it's not the same as sitting behind a desk. Because then you stock up, you look for fruit that needs to go, you need to clean it up, you need to, I don't know, go behind the store to get more boxes. I don't know, you need to do more than what I did my last grocery job. And maybe I will be just fine doing the same thing again, even though I was really unhappy back then doing that, sitting behind the desk. Simply because I'm older and I'm in a different spot, and I would like to get a permanent job so I can stop considering myself between places. I want to just breathe for a little bit or start one of the educations. But maybe it wouldn't be very bad if I got really happy about an education and I had time for doing my own projects like this, and drawing and Twitch streaming. And then if I was happy, I could wait a couple of years if I still want that education. And I feel like as soon as you work somewhere once, you have a good chance of getting into the same store if it ended well, or the same brand of stores, simply because you have experience. So I wouldn't mind having experience in something like normal that is literally everywhere. I don't know a lot of places in Denmark you can go without there's being a normal or Søstrene Grene. I also really want to work there. It's one of my favorite stores. It's so nice. There's so many things, and it's just such a vibe. And you really go in there in the explorational. That's a weird word. Adventurous. I can't talk. Wow, adventurous mindset. Like, oh, let's explore what's in here. Even more than normal. And those are the kind of stores I want to work at. I have thought about bookstores as well, except counterintuitive a little bit. I don't read much. So if people come in to get recommendations, I wouldn't know a lot. But eventually I would know where, genres and stuff were, which would be great. I'm still a little on edge with the bookstore because I feel like you need a bit more than I do. Like, I really do struggle with the, could I do this job? Would it be okay? Can I do it properly? Am I qualified? Which is weird because most stores just have people figuring it out along the way, which I know I will find out too. But you know, the mindset of wanting to be able to do everything beforehand, like before you learn how to do it. Yeah, I've been struggling with that since I was a small kid. For many, many years. Because it's just easier if you know what you're doing. There's no... or at least have a small knowledge of what to do and where to look if you don't know what to do, and who to talk to if you don't know what to do, and yeah, the same thing over and over again. It's essentially just my nervous system that likes, I think also the autistic part, liking to know, like just to know. And then my ADHD refuses to stay the same place for a longer period of time, and then shoves me out to try something new, which triggers my autism, because then I don't know. My entire life I feel like I've done that, like with smaller things the earlier I've been. But that's also one of the reasons why I might struggle with feeling like a part of anything. Like, I'm 100% sure I'm autistic, but I'm not the stereotypical autistic person. And I want to say 75% sure I have ADHD too, but I'm not the stereotypical ADHD woman. I have a lot of things that I relate to, but then also a lot that is just me. I am the odd part, which I think maybe we all are, which is why we are different. We have a lot of similarities, but the part that makes you different is you. So, what pill to swallow? It's odd because a lot of people thrive to be the same, because then people relate more and people understand more. Yeah, it's just boring, innit? It is boring if we were all the same. I mean, at least I would know. My autistic brain would love it. It would love it. There would never be any surprises. My ADHD brain though, I would go absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. Super mad. Yeah. I'm rambling. And this is why I made the podcast. Because even when I don't know what to talk about, almost 40 minutes pass and I've talked about something. And I'm sorry, again, should have been a part of the big disclosure episode where I disclose all of the things I'm insecure about that might hurt or be misunderstood or whatever. Accents, I've talked about it before. They just switch. They switch, man. And then I notice it, and then I don't even know anymore. It switches it again. Yeah. But I'm sure I have mostly Danish accent, even though I really don't like it. I really don't like Danish accent. English. Danish. What am I trying to say? Danish accent on English? I don't know, man. My brain is foggy. I hope you are doing well, and I hope you enjoyed another episode of me just rambling. I hope the sound wasn't too bad, and I hope the video wasn't too bad either. Either way, too bad. It happened, which is what I'm practicing. And I think I've told you like 15 times already. I might repeat myself a lot on this podcast, and well, that's just how it is, I guess. I do repeat myself a lot because I think I just process everything like everyone does. But there's something I like writing, and I love thinking as well. But there's something about speaking your thoughts that hits different. I can really think. Not to flex or anything, but I can really think. But speaking it out loud manifests it somehow, and then I think about what I said in another way. And if I'm anxious or anything, I'm like, wait, why? That doesn't even make sense. Or then I notice the underlying layers of insecurity or something like that, and then it doesn't seem as important. So yeah, yes, you are my therapy buddy. Aren't you happy about that? Yeah, actually, also, that's another thing. I have had a few weeks on BetterHelp just because I wanted to try it. If I don't get a job soon, I won't be able to continue it. It's a bit expensive, but it is accessible and it is nice. I was very lucky with my first therapist. Yeah, I believe that was what she's called. Basically doing the same thing as I do on my podcast, just a little more feedback in instantaneous, like speaking to a person, not just myself in a room with a camera and a mic. Yeah. And I know I say that a lot. I notice it every time. Um yeah. Right now I think I'm just living, and then I'm dreaming a little more than I let myself for a long time. And if you can hear rambling, not rambling like scuffles, what? If you can hear noise, it's just my fidgeting with the case for the mic. It happened again. I think it hasn't happened as much in this episode, but that forgetting where I came from, like, what was I gonna say? Therapy? Talked about therapy and talking to other humans. As much as I dislike it and just want to decide for myself, sometimes human connection just hits different. But I was absolutely not able to see that in full out burnout. In the thick of it, I would rather just lie in bed than even greet one person outside it. But not that that's completely over, and I might burn out easier. So I have no idea what's going to happen, and it is terrifying. I want to have a plan. Thanks, autism and human. That's human too. It's easier when you have a plan, because then you just know. Yes, I'm repeating myself. So I don't know where I'm going. I hope this week that I can be a bit more on Discord and Twitch with particular people than I have been for a couple of weeks, because I met some absolutely amazing people and I like every single one of them and their vibes, and I like talking to them. And if you're listening, hello. Thank you for listening. It's 46 minutes of me rambling, but I appreciate it. And sometimes we just need to ramble. I don't feel better or worse after doing this episode this time, but it feels great to do it because it's always in the back of my mind. I want to make more episode. I want to make more content. I want to make more. I want to start more. I have a million projects in my head most of the time, and they just keep coming more projects and ideas and inspiration and creativity and imagination all in a one big bundle, which is absolutely amazing. Absolutely love that returned to me, because that was gone. There's nothing left of any of those that I could feel when I was in burnout. So I'm happy it's back, but it's a bit overwhelming because I've been in burnout. Like it's accumulated burnout. So little by little, more things disappeared, and then I had very, very, very intense moments where I would kind of like break through and burst into creativity. Not sleep all night. Still do that sometimes. Yes, I know. I'm trying. It might help getting a job and a schedule. It's just easy when you're off duty to enjoy the night. I've always relaxed more at night. I've always had ideas at night. That's if I was able to completely structure everything for me, I think I would just have periods where I would be a night creature. It would shift. I don't want to always be a night person, like always have night shift, and I don't want to always have a day shift, which makes it all way harder to structure in today's day and age. Is that what you say? Maybe. I think I lost 2 threads now that I was rambling about, but thank you for listening to me rambling and forgetting words and pronouncing things wrong. I appreciate it. If nothing else, it feels cozy knowing there's someone on the other side listening at some point. And if you needed a someone to talk in the background, feel free to use some of my other episodes. Wouldn't recommend the first one for background noise. It's quite kind of heavy. The breakdown, yeah. I'm really happy it's not a recurring thing anymore, actually. So it's actually huge. It's huge because I don't remember the last time I had a panic attack, which feels absolutely insane to say, because I was really struggling with them. And that just goes to show that sometimes very hard decisions are the right one, even though you can still grieve, still mourn the identity you lost. It's been very hard, don't get me wrong. I've uprooted myself completely. Everything I worked for the past 6 years is not lost, but it feels like it was wasted a little bit. I know it wasn't. I'm working on believing it full time, but yeah, it feels like it was a bit wasted, but it gives me insight that I just could not have gotten any other way, especially if I'm going into the automation and making systems and security, what's it called, flows, features, safety features, and systems and stuff. There's just something about having been on the other end, using and maintaining systems, that is so valuable, because I don't think I'll be perfect, but I think I'll have insight into some things that maybe other people haven't gotten. My experience would not have known. That's very vague, so yeah, that was just a branch of thought. I don't know when we're gonna talk again, but when wow, I'm going to bed. I'll see you next time, and thank you for listening. I feel great. I hope you feel great too. Everything is unknown. I feel great. And I wouldn't say I'm getting used to it, because literally I'm planning the next stages of my life right now, because I can't not do anything. But so far, I feel like I'm doing great. I'm quite happy, even though I still have some excess anxiety sometimes, but that's just life right now. Like, it's still it's still incredible how far I've gone, I feel, from having anxiety and panic attacks every single day. And I still like my bed, not gonna lie, but I get urges to do stuff more. It sounds so sad, but it's true. I went on half an hour. That's not half an hour. I went for a walk yesterday, and then I took 20 to 30 minutes for both of our dogs at home, like a little training session. It was so nice. Definitely gonna do that again. It also helps me so much to do swimming. I love swimming, and I'm always gonna be a bit self-conscious about swimming because I want to be really good. But I am good, and I love feel of water. And I keep rambling. I'm aware of that too. I don't actually know when this episode's gonna end. I guess we'll find out. I should really go to bed though, so maybe we'll pick it up next time I make an episode. I had a feeling I wanted to get on here and say I'm actually doing quite well right now, and it's freaking me out a little bit. I've been so bad for so long that feeling okay is weird. Like, I don't quite know where to place it. I'm a bit suspicious, like it's gonna disappear in a little bit, or is it here to stay? Will my entire life crumble again in the next chapter, or are we actually gonna move forward? Who knows? But it's only gotten better with every decision I've made since then. So I guess I'll keep making decisions and cross my fingers that it's the right decisions and they're gonna help me. So yeah. So far they have. It's great. I could keep talking. It's so crazy. I actually have no idea what I've been talking about at all, but I've been talking for almost an hour. This is why I'm doing it. This is exactly why I'm doing it, because like even with BetterHelp, when I've had a session, I have no idea what we talked about at all. And now I at least have something I can go back on, hopefully, in the future when everything is going great and I have a cat, maybe two, and permanent job and lots of energy and going to the gym and doing all my projects. And you see why I burn out? I want to do too much, and my perception of good enough have always been a bit twisted. I have a lot of perfectionism, and I want to do everything I do very great. I want to do it as close to perfect as you can. But that's just not gonna happen. So this is also obviously the reason I'm doing this, because it's not perfect, but it's me. And I can have a lot of thoughts about doing podcasting and all of the other things. And who knows how people react before they do. I can make so many scenarios up in my head, but most of them never happen. So what my mother have tried to teach me for all of these years is we're just gonna have to wait and see. So hard to learn and remember and believe that it's all just gonna be okay, regardless of what you do. But they are. Somehow, it always seems to work out, which is kind of odd. But like the motto that I made a couple years back, as long as I breathe and that I can breathe, there's a way. And another motto that I also made is that time will pass just fine on her own. We don't need to do anything. She will walk just by herself. You don't need to push. And we can't stop her. Yeah. So I don't know if this is gonna get into being a tradition, but for the third time, thank you for watching and listening. I think this time the episode is actually gonna end, and we have reached an hour of blabbering, rambling, and all of in between that. Yeah, can you see my brain buffering? I can feel it. It's like, woman, would you let me shut off now? And I will. So we will talk later. Bye bye.